Good evening, Tiger Nation, and Happy New Year. Um, Glad to see y'all once again, and I'm just really cheerful and grateful to be with y'all once again in 2014. 2014, I was just thinking the other day, I said, back in 1999 when we were jamming off of Prince, nobody really thought that this far ahead, 2014, and we are here. The Tigers had an outstanding game against JSU back here about a week or so ago, and it was just a warm-up for this game that we had just New Year's Eve. We played Jackson State University, the mighty Tigers, and we beat them 75-61. And our high point man for that game was Michael Dixon. He came off the bench and hit 14 points. So the Tigers they're gelling and they're coming along. But New Year's Eve, the Tigers went down to Tampa Bay to face South Florida, which is our very first conference game. And the Tigers went down there to make a statement to the conference that we are here and we're here to stay. The Tigers in South Florida, they tied up in a very intense game. The game was real intense in the first half. South Florida's big man in the middle was standing there and he was swatting stuff trying to tell the Tigers, don't y'all bring that up in here. But Joe Jackson made a point. Like I said, the Tigers came to make a statement. And the very first shot that Joe hit was a three-pointer and he busted it. We've been kind of falling off on our three-point shots here lately, but one thing I can say, they're not really making a whole bunch of wild, stupid three-point shots, but they're making three-point shots that really count just when we really need them. And they did an outstanding game against them. But it was one thing that I love so well about them Tigers is can't nobody run with us. And by 5 minutes or so in the first half, you could tell that South Florida was beginning to get winded. And they were slowly running down the court. Even the commentator made a statement one time. He said on a fast break that the Tigers was running, he said it was 10 players. He said, but when the ball got down to the other end of the court, it was 5 Tigers and it was only 2 of South Florida players down there. They just couldn't keep up with us. But to show you just how fast them Tigers is, at the half, going into halftime, the Tigers had to inbound the ball with 5 seconds left on the clock. And Joe made another statement. The ball was inbounded to Joe, and Joe drove straight down the court within 5 seconds and went down, and it was two of South Florida's players down there. They went up to block it, and Joe went in, and being 6'1" and about 160 pounds, Joe went down and slammed one of them in-your-face slams. And then the buzzer went off, so he was letting them know, hey, when this second half come up, we gonna be on. But them Tigers, they went down there and they really played. They had a 20-point lead or so on them from time to time. And South Florida may have made runs at them, but they were just winded and they couldn't keep up with the Tigers. And we kept on. And like one of the commentators made the statement of, he said that the Tigers will wear you down. And there's one thing about them Tigers when they wear you down. They wear you down with their speed. Like I was saying, Joe drove down and he made that slam on them with only about a second left on the clock, and slammed in their face. But one thing that this commentator that was covering this game here, he covered the last game, and it's something that he one of the points that he came up with was he was talking about deflections, and he was saying that Coach Pashner has said that he tries to have at least about 40 deflections in the game. Now, what is a deflection? A deflection is where you interrupt the flow of your opponent's game. You know, you're standing there with your hands out and they make a pass and you tip it you just always constantly in their face, intimidating them and stuff like that. And the Tigers will really wear them out on those type of points. You know, they mess up the flow of the game, you know. But the Tigers are gelling. They are coming along. It was another. What's the boy name? Number 12. I'm bad on names today, y'all. This is the first of the year, but I'll be with you. Our other man, big man that's in the middle, he was dynamite again, you know, and I love to see his senior finesse on the floor. You know, he knows how to play, and there's one thing about that I like. Shaq is learning more from him, and also the young freshman that's coming along. He's learning also, but. You know, I look at how those referees call this game, and I really would love to say hats off to Coach Pashner, because Coach really had to coach this game. Our men got into foul trouble way in the first half, and Coach had to maneuver around in order to keep everybody in the game and nobody foul out. Coach really had to move them in, move them out. He even had to go deep in the bench. This game, Coach played 14 players, and it was, you know, he was wheeling and dealing and wheeling with them. But he did an outstanding job, and so I'd like to really say hats off to Coach Pashner and the coaching staff, because they really did a good job. And there's one thing that I really like about this team. As I said, these boys are really gelling together, and they love to play with one another. You can see in their fast breaks, you know, they're always rewarding each other. You know, nobody is really trying to be selfish or anything like that. And we just got an outstanding game. Like I said, this was a statement to the conference, and you know, this was the Big East Conference, and the Catholic schools that was in the Big East Conference, they got scared because they found out that Memphis was coming in, so they got scared and they ran off and kept the Big East Conference. But now we have the American Athletic Conference. I don't like that name, but you know, that's one of the names that they came up with. So hey, we got to deal with it. Anyway, we coming to win the championship and go to the big dance. That's right. It's almost dance time. It's only 2 months away. This is January, February be here, and it'll be party time in the big dance. But you know, we did an outstanding job. As I was saying, you know, the referees, to me, they really didn't call this game right. I can't see how we had 30 fouls and they only had 17 fouls. You know, that seems a little lopsided to me. But anyway, you know, you just have to keep your mouth shut, and they can't find me though, so I'm just a fan. But anyway, you know, we're looking forward to this Saturday. Yes, that's right, this Saturday at the FedEx Forum. One of our old rivals will be in town. Yeah, that's right, going all the way back to the Metro Conference and all of those conferences back there. Cincinnati will be in town Saturday at 11 a.m. That's right, too. If you're not going to the game, you can still have the best seat in the house by tuning in to ESPN. But let's support the Tigers as we go on this journey. And remember to always keep your eye on the Tigers. And I'll see y'all after this game Saturday. Bye now.